Hey guys, Joseph Henson here with Henson CPA Group. I want to come at you guys again this week with a new topic that I hit on last week, but had a few requests to do a little bit deeper dive into. So we're going to go ahead and jump into that, and it's going to be implementing telehealth services in veterinary clinics, financial considerations and opportunities. So a little bit of introduction to telehealth and veterinary medicine. What is telehealth for veterinary clinics? Really, it's a lot like how folks use it for traditional interaction between human to human with telehealth with, primary physicians. It's really a way to involve a clinic to provide a remote consultation and healthcare services for pets using video calls, messaging, and other digital platforms. Why is this becoming a focus and on financial considerations? This is a way to implement a new revenue stream into your clinic to meet your patients where they are. It's going to be crucial to assess the cost and long-term profitability. What is the initial investment? What platform do you want to use? There is a lot that can go into this. So what are the financial benefits of telehealth for veterinary clinics? Increased accessibility. You are able to provide remote consultations for rural or busy pet owners who cannot always easily visit the clinic. A lot of folks know that rural clinics aren't always around to provide all the services, especially if they are a large animal clinic who specializes in not only smaller breeds, but also larger breeds, farms, stuff like that. It opens a new revenue stream. This is going to let you generate income through virtual consultations, telemedicine follow-ups, and prescription management without requiring a physical visit. What does this mean really? So there's a lot of cases that come up where, hey, I need my pet to be seen. I don't know if this is an emergency. So with this, you'll be able to provide the access to say, I think this can wait. We can get you in a day or two. It doesn't seem too drastic. Or, hey, this is an emergency. You need to go to this clinic if I'm not currently accepting them. It's a great way to handle that while also generating new revenue. It's also going to help with client retention. Telehealth increases the convenience for clients. It's leading to improved customer satisfaction and loyalty. Knowing that you have a doctor on staff who might only take 5-10 minutes with you, but the fact that they're able to get you in is a huge benefit. It's the exact same reason so many people are using telehealth for checkups with their doctors. It doesn't just have to do with the veterinarians. It also allows humans to do this. And so why would you want that? Well, it just helps. Being able to really assess the situation and get a hold of your doctor within an hour or so to really see what's going on will help. Do you need to do a follow-up all the time to see how a prescription is going, if they need a refill? No, you don't have to have that in person. This allows you as a clinic to meet your patients and clients where they are at currently. What are the initial investment costs for telehealth implementation? There's always going to be technology equipment. You're going to have to get a high quality camera, microphone, servers, and other digital tools to ensure smooth virtual consultations. There's a lot of platforms out there currently that you can look at using: Televet, Paw Squad, Vetster, AirVet. These are good tools to look at to say what is needed to handle this. Another thing that you have to have is staff training and development. You have to make sure that you are training veterinarians, technicians, any other support staff on the new system. This does include clinical aspects and customer communication. You're not always able to just automate. You're going to have someone saying, hey, I want to make sure you are available at this time still, and scheduling, making sure your schedules don't conflict. If there is a conflict, it's rescheduling and saying, I apologize. But you have to have training. Training is not only great for customer retention, it's also phenomenal for employee retention, especially in the veterinary industry where turnover can be extremely high. Ongoing operational costs. What is really going to be incurred year to year, month to month, over time? Subscriptions and licensing fees. You will have a recurring cost for the platform you are on and the software license that makes sure you are protecting client data. Every state is different. If you're not sure what compliance needs to be had for the data protection, talk to an attorney in your area to make sure you understand that. IT and technical support. It is always a good idea once you hit a certain level that you have pretty routine IT services, making sure that software updates are happening and doing any troubleshooting that keeps the systems running smoothly. This does go for not only if you're doing telehealth, but especially if you do want to do telehealth, because you can't have a hiccup with your camera all of a sudden, but you've scheduled 4 telehealth checks in the next 30 minutes. Cybersecurity and data protection. This is going to be one of the biggest things and the biggest hindrance to wanting to do telehealth. There is an investment in secure online platforms. You need the encryptions. You need to meet any state-specific confidentiality requirements. It's not just a cut and dry, hey, give me a call, we'll see what we can do. If you are truly looking at running a telehealth service, make sure you have all the cybersecurity and data protection in place. Check with your insurance. A lot of times they will have something you can add on for a lot of this stuff. Reimbursement and billing considerations. What happens if your patient has pet insurance? How are you reimbursed? It's going to vary. It will be different with every single pet insurance. And before you're billing someone, you need to make sure you can get reimbursed for this. And maybe this is a situation where you are only using cash. I only take cash credit cards for this service. I'm not going to take pet insurance. You are potentially able to use, care credit and those things in-house, but make sure you understand what is and isn't reimbursed for the virtual consultations and telemedicine services. Out-of-pocket payments, pet owners obviously will be responsible for any telehealth consultation themselves. So you need to make sure pricing and payment structures need to be clear and competitive. If it's the exact same cost to see you in office versus online, but it's streamlined, that's okay, as long as people understand and expect the bill they're going to get. Compliance and legal considerations. Check with your state requirements for telehealth. Check with the veterinary board in your area to see what needs to happen to be compliant. Make sure that you have the proper licenses in these states. There are laws that surround all of this. It's a newer thing that people are doing with veterinarians, but it is an option that people are looking into more and more, and states are coming on board. Malpractice insurance. Always review and potentially adjust for malpractice insurance coverage to include the telehealth services and remote consultation. You need to understand that if your insurance is not up to date with everything you are doing, you are at risk. You have to have a good insurance agent in your pocket to make sure you are staying on top of what you need. You would hate to be sued for something and all of a sudden find out, hey, my insurance doesn't cover this because they didn't know you were doing it. So get a hold of your insurance agent to make sure you can be covered. Financial risk and challenges. There's always going to be risk and challenges. Client adoption and utilization. There is a risk your clients may not want to do this, and that's okay. But you have to know that before. I am a big believer in polling my clients to see if this is a service they would use. If your clients aren't interested in this, it might not be worth it. You want to evaluate the risk to make sure that you can pay for the infrastructure before. Delayed insurance reimbursement. Obviously, you guys understand cash flow, hopefully how it's really going to be affected. Most clinics struggle with cash flow when they feel that cash doesn't come in as fast as it goes out. You want to make sure you understand how long it will take for insurance, if someone has pet insurance, to actually reimburse you. This is important because if it's no longer going to be 15 to 20 days, and all of a sudden you're at 30, 45, 60 days, you're providing a service, but you're not actually seeing any benefit for months on end potentially. So have that and understand the payment expectations. Regulatory changes. With our infrastructure, these change frequently. You need to understand that telehealth regulations vary from state to state, and so you have to stay on top of those changes. Uh, Veterinary magazines, veterinary newsletters, veterinary associations in your state are typically looking at this stuff already and are a great resource. If you are not subscribed to some sort of veterinary update magazine, you should look into that to make sure that any insurance or licensure laws that happen, you're on top of. Maximizing the financial success in telehealth. You have to optimize your telehealth pricing. You want to maintain a competitive pricing model. Maybe that's flat fee. Maybe that's a per minute charge. That's really hard to do a per minute because you don't know. I am personally a big proponent of flat fees. If that's $50, $60, $75, $100, whatever that is, make sure it's competitive. A lot of people understand they pay for convenience, but they also want to understand that they're getting what they pay for. And so with this, let's make sure your pricing model is attractive. Increase client education and marketing. This will be one of your top expenses. You have to be able to educate pet owners about the convenience and benefits of telehealth for routine consultations, follow-up care, and minor health issues. This is not for emergencies. This is for a minor health issue. Hey, my dog has a weird cough. Can you listen? Hey, my dog looks like he's limping and hasn't been able to put weight on his paw. Well, that's not a minor thing a lot of times. You have to be able to see the dog physically in person to say, yeah, this is an issue. And some of this goes back to the training aspect with your staff. They have to understand that they're now not only potentially receptionists, but they're also a marketing department. And then you should look at leverage telehealth for preventive care. Promote the virtual consultation for routine checkups, prescription refills, and general advice. Not only will you see that you grow naturally with this, but it's also going to allow you to have those more routine visits. You're going to see these people more frequently to help their pets and to help your patients because of the fact that it's no longer a 15-minute drive, a 30-minute wait, and a 15-minute drive home after waiting another 15 minutes for the doctor to get in the room. It is a huge deal. What are the next steps that you could actually take? You should evaluate your clinic's readiness for telehealth, including if you are currently set up with the infrastructure and staff capability. You should consult with financial advisors and any veterinary-specific legal experts to address reimbursements, compliance, and insurance considerations. If you are ready for that, if you have done these steps, begin a pilot program. Test it with some people to see how this works. Do some tests and make sure that your patients are actually going to be responsive to this, and make sure this makes sense from a financial perspective for you. One thing I'm going to say back on the last slide over the financial success and optimizing telehealth pricing, one model I've seen work well for this is a subscription-based model. I've hit on that before for other services, but with this, they understand, hey, for X dollars per month, we're going to provide you with 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever that works out to, chances per month to see us, or per quarter. That way, this is almost like a payment plan. Instead of saying that you can only see me once a year, they're paying throughout the year, and they know they have access for routine calls when it comes to telehealth. And you're blocking off time. You understand, hey, for this day, I have this much time. For that day, no time. And for emergencies, everyone has to get rescheduled. That was the last thing I want to say on that, along with the flat fees for consultations or per minute charges. Another model I've seen be successful is a recurring monthly subscription model, almost like a concierge. Okay, that does bring us to the Q&A section. I love hearing from you guys. I love getting follow-ups to see what is interesting to you. As always, I'm Joseph Henson. You can reach me with email, joseph@hensoncpagroup.com, and go from there to make sure that your financial needs and accounting needs are being met. If you have a topic that you're passionate about and you want me to talk more on, shoot me an email. I love to hear from you. And other than that, you guys have a great day.